We had a great day on the golf course, and one of the things we talked about was ball position and understanding where you should be putting the ball in your stance. And I'm using a broom as an example, and if you picture how this broom is spread out, it kind of matches a little bit of the width of our stance. And so you can think about where on that broom do I want the ball to be depending on what club I'm hitting. So a quick rule of thumb is the longer the club, the more forward you want it in your stance. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One of which, the club is longer, you have less loft on the club, so you want to be striking it more in the forward of your stance. The clubs that have a little more loft, you want to be hitting down on them or in the back of your stance. So make sure in your setup, it's really important to understand where to place the ball depending on what kind of shot you hit, and also just kind of as a rule, general rule of thumb with each club. So using our broom, we've got some balls set up here, and very left-hand ball, this is going to be our driver swing. So if I had my driver and my feet together, tiny step, big step, and then that's where you want the club to be, the ball to be in the position for your driver, up in the front of your stance, kind of matching your heel. Okay, so the next one, the 7 wood, we're going to move a little bit further back in our stance. So we're going to do a little bit bigger step and a little less step this way, and that ball is a little bit more forward of middle in our stance, picturing that broom being the width of our heels. We've got it in the second slot with the 7 wood. A 6 iron. 6 iron we're actually going to have right in the dead middle of the broom. So the ball is here, and we're equally putting our feet on either side of the ball, and that's kind of ideal position for the 6 iron, right in the middle of your stance. Okay, an 8 iron. 8 iron is this third ball. We're setting up the club behind the ball. We're taking a bigger step this way and a smaller step this way, and that club is middle to a little bit back in your stance. This club has a little more loft to it, so we're even more hitting down on the ball to get the ball to go up. If you have this 8 iron and it's way up here in the driver position, then you're going to have a really hard time not scooping the ball. You're going to have a hard time hitting down on the ball when it's this far up in your stance. The sand wedge for me personally, some players like to have it more center. I personally like to put the sand wedge pretty far back in my stance when I'm playing. So that's this 4th ball. The bigger step, smaller step this way, that sand wedge. My hands are pretty far forward, and I'm using this loft to really get down on that ball and get it to go up in the air. So by picturing a broom like we've got here, that might help you when you're out on the course thinking about how to set your feet depending on what club you have. Broom shakalaka.